I have been on a quest for quite some time now, searching online for Death Star tiles, either kits or 3D printed, to display at the base of some Star Wars models from my collection. What I have found is not to my liking, lacks in detail, and in some cases, even shows signs of warping. I quickly realized that I would need to embark on the tedious journey to scratch build them. And so it begins with the basic and clean structure that you see here. This first piece will slide to the support rod of the replica and will require a few layers of filling for strength and to make it solid. It was created from disposable clear plastic cups. They are extremely fragile, and the cutting must be done slowly, very patiently, and in phases. I did have a few accidentally crack on me in the process. The support walls are made from styrene. Single sheets for some and double for others. Adding variation to the mix makes it interesting. Sanding is required to smoothen out and mask the joints. I wasn't overly concerned about being meticulous on this task, because a significant amount of greebles will cover the surfaces. As a filler and glue, I am using a product called Golden Soft Body Matte Gel Acrylic Medium. It's like a paste that spreads easily with a small paintbrush and equally easy to wash off before it dries. It has given me great results on my 42-inch Star Destroyer project. If you haven't checked out that video yet, please do so. It's coming along very well. It's worth to clarify that when not filling, CA glue is what I use. The main cross-bridge structure section received internal wooden supports and filler for rigidity. Preparing all surfaces to be smooth and free from defects as much as possible is required before the greebles phase begins. Creating some recessed areas within the building structures will provide for additional realism. Filling, sanding, or filing away is constantly present throughout the project. wooden supports, and these handy little half spheres that will be made into half domes come in 3 different sizes and were found at a local dollar store. They can also be found in arts and crafts stores. They are fairly easy to cut and shape. Several layers of filler spread out one at a time in between the wooden support sticks will allow for a proper curing process. Once the 4 basic tiles are done, adding the greebles from kit bashing will prove to be the most challenging and time-consuming stage. Small structures, along with the basic square tiles, are all reinforced and filled as well. In particular, around the edges, which are the weak points. The trim, or floor space, in between the tiles are also made from cutting strips of styrene. The first tool that is required and is key is a hands-free magnifier. These are just some of the kits that I have obtained for kit bashing in 1/700, 1/400, and 1/350 scale. I also purchased Bandai Gundam kits for oval and round-shaped greebles. These are a superb option, and in general, I find them to be very clean, sharp-looking, and of superior quality than the battleship kits. It's not about throwing any piece into the build. It's more like a 3D puzzle, where you must find the right piece that fits correctly and does the job. The photo-etched components come from accessory kits designed to enhance details on battleship models in 1/700 and 1/350 scale. They provide for very small and intricate detail at the limit of what the human eye can see without the need for a magnifier. They are very delicate and difficult to work with, requiring a hobby knife with a sharp blade at all times. My choice for styrene is Evergreen products. They have a huge selection of strips and rods that come in different width and thickness. They are not cheap, since each package generally contains only 10 pieces for about $7 Canadian. Once you get modeling, they quickly add up. And so it begins. Test fitting each piece at this stage is critical to obtain a good result. The 4-tile section is now ready for priming and painting. I often find myself admiring this structure for lengthy periods of time. My work will provide an upgrade to the base of each model, such as my MYC Y-Wing, Code 3 Darth Vader TIE Advanced, EFX TIE Fighter, and EFX X-Wing, among others. Large amounts of kits for kit bashing were purchased by Lucasfilm to turn into the iconic ships that later on captivated us. This whole process seen here is exactly how ILM model builders approach their work for the films we came to admire and cherish over time. My fingers will give you an idea of just how small is the scale that I am working with. All of the films that George Lucas has made have become culturally significant in one way or another. And people have a very emotional connection to props, costumes, and artwork because it's part of something much larger that really affected them. George Lucas was the first filmmaker to move away from brand new, slick, and shiny looking spaceships, Flash Gordon style, and instead opted for a new concept that would reveal an aged and worn down universe that would then captivate audiences worldwide. As a result, Star Wars was more credible and realistic, becoming a cultural phenomenon. He was a genius with a creative vision. And the revolutionary techniques invented to realize that vision transformed the art of movie making. I truly hope that I have inspired some of you to make your very own personalized Death Star tiles. If you do, or plan to do so, please leave your comments and share your work with others. A custom box was going to be required for transportation or storage of such a delicate project. I came up with the following idea, which would keep my model well protected and safe, as you see here, no matter how much it gets shaken around. I chose conveniently the top of two building structures that would be fairly flat, labeling them as A and B, to which I could add a support block on each one. Keeping the orientation of the picture on the box to match the actual model when placed inside, as shown here, will perfectly lock it in place and prevent any movements. Building a second box inside with an opening at the bottom allows for the removal of the model without causing any damage to the very fragile details that are present. Designing my own tiles allows me to create the pattern required that fits and looks best for each model. In this case, I didn't want to cover the Star Wars laser engraved logo located at the bottom edge corner, nor did I want to completely cover the beautifully metallic looking base. A 3x3 tile setup will end up being perfectly centered and suitable. I will later add to this 2x2 setup more tiles to complete the desired outcome. Please let me know what you think in the comments below. I wish you all the best of luck in your collecting adventures, and stay tuned for my next collectible.